Hello, Aries. Welcome to your January 2020 overview reading. This is good for you if you're a sun, moon, or rising Aries. And before we get started, please take a moment to subscribe if you would like to get more guidance, more information, more support throughout your 2020. And you can go ahead and check me out on Instagram if you're interested in more content as well. Don't forget, you do get a free dealing with family meditation when you sign up for my newsletter, so you're welcome to check that out. Link is in the description box. And before we get started, I just want to give a big shout out to each and every one of you who follow my work. I appreciate you more than you know. And to those of you who work with me one-on-one, those of you who have joined classes or readings or anything like that, who are regular clients of mine, thank you. You guys are the reason why I'm able to even build this channel to begin with. So I am just so grateful beyond words. If you would like to support the channel, because I don't monetize these videos, consider working with me. There's a lot of ways to do that. You're welcome to go to onyxhealing.com, or you can check out the links in the description box. I'm going to lay the spread out and then we will get started. Okay, let's go ahead and start with your oracle cards. First thing coming up for you is confrontation. Pick your battles wisely. Okay, so this is just a reminder that not everything is worth resisting, not everything is worth fighting about, or it's like you just want to kind of evaluate, is this worth the energy or is it not? Because confrontation, while it's a super valuable skill, I'm sure you guys know that I'm actually super confrontational. I like that form of problem solving and being able to work things out. But this is just saying it does cost a lot of energy. So you want to just tread carefully here, be mindful of like how much you're spending on this. Really watch your energy levels when it comes to confrontation. Is it worth it? Is it not? Is it really going to make a difference? Is it not? Just weigh it out in January. And then we have golden egg. I believe this has to do with the heart chakra, if I remember correctly. And I think this is about really honoring the emotions that are coming up in the heart. And I'm also getting a lot of heart healing coming from this in the month of January. So make sure that you take those opportunities where you need to be vulnerable, or where it could, vulnerability is scary, right? So it's kind of like you're showing your stomach. Vulnerability isn't easy, but it's also what can lead to the most healing and the most potential for repair. So definitely take advantage of this. And then we also have alchemy. Combine two things that don't go together. Step beyond all base matter to find the gold within. The once impossible may now be possible. Give it a try. Yeah, so definitely the combine two things that don't go together. I think it's just about, again, honoring that heart with what it is that you desire, stepping up to the plate with all of that, and knowing that the alchemy piece is what's going to really bring it to life. Even if it seems really discombobulated, just roll with it and see what happens. Okay, now we have past, present, future here in the center. So this is what's in the past position. Eight of Swords, feeling confined, feeling bound, feeling limited. This is like the prison of your mind, that limitation that you create for yourself mentally. Now this is in the past. Let's keep going and see what happens in present time. We have the Knight of Cups. So allowing the emotional piece to guide you is the medicine for all of this. So the confinement, the fear of expression, the limitations or constraints around expression, because there's a lot of fear coming off of this card. It's kind of like the way out of all of that is paying close attention to your emotions, because the Knight of Cups is really good at listening to the emotions, honoring the emotions, flowing with the emotions, And so again, it's something that you want to pay attention to them and give them what they need without letting them run your entire life. You don't want your emotional body to run everything. That would not be good, because then you would be all over the place, and then confrontation would be an all-time high if every time you had an emotional feeling you just had an outburst, right? So we don't want to let it sit in the driver's seat, but we want to use our emotions as a compass. It can really give us clues as to what's going on, and looking underneath the emotion is going to be a great way for you to identify what you're really needing and wanting. And then the future position, we have the Ace of Wands. So that emotional liberation, that emotional, using the emotional piece as a compass is actually what gives you the energy that you need. So the Ace of Wands is just like the aha, I can do this, I can put my energy behind it. And that is what the Ace of Wands is helping you to do. So the more you pay attention to your emotions, the better you can flow with them and work with them rather than against them. Okay, this is what's happening outside of you. So your external world, what you have in your environment. The first thing coming up is the Six of Swords. So a lot of progress. I'm seeing this as like opportunities to move forward and opportunities to kind of get where you're wanting to go. Because the Six of Swords is anything but stagnant. This is saying there's a lot of motion, there's a lot of movement that's happening in this entire process. So the Six of Swords just wants you to take the opportunities that are presented, or really pay close attention to what is showing itself, what inspiration you have sitting out in front of you. And then we have the Moon. Okay, so very, very watery up here. Look at all this water. And what I'm getting from the Moon is just the unknown, the uncertainty. This is Neptunian energy. And so the Six of Swords is like, you're going to have to jump off into that. You're going to have to move into that and really being okay with it. I'm going to clarify these. Okay, Six of Swords once again. So this is a duplicate card. And I think that this is really just pushing you to, okay, you might be afraid. I'm not going to tell you not to be afraid. But it's pushing you to do scary things, do the uncomfortable things, lean into the resistance. Now, I want to make the distinction because people think that I contradict myself when I say this, and I'm not. There is a difference between resistance and contraction. When something doesn't feel good, it's void of all excitement and wonder and intrigue. It's void of all of that. It just feels gross inside of your body. That's why you have to pay close attention to this Knight of Cups. He's going to help you out. This energy of the Knight of Cups is what you can use for yourself in order to identify, is it a contraction or is it just mental resistance to doing something exciting or something that you know will be good for you? And resistance is just, I don't want to be uncomfortable, even though I know this is something that could bring massive rewards, or this is something that could be a lot of fun, or this is something I desire. So you have to evaluate for yourself. Is it expansion being met with resistance, or is it contraction where something doesn't feel good at all? And that's also information as to what you want to move away from. So either way, this is just painting a picture of you're going to be uncomfortable with the things that are presented out in front of you, but leaning into that unknown, leaning into the discomfort that's leading to expansion is going to be a game changer for you in January. And remember that the best way to really expand your mind and expand your skill set is doing hard stuff, doing stuff that does challenge you, starting a project that you know you're going to suck at. Like, that is where growth really happens. Okay, and then this is your internal world, your emotional world. We have the sun, so it's like there's a lot of opportunities for you to have fun. I'm getting the intuitive hit here that this also has to do with this Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is like the game changer for you. These are just the strategies and kind of what's happening internally and externally. Now the sun is all about having fun, enjoying yourself, having a good time. This is really celebrating the journey. So while yes, you're going to have to do uncomfortable things in order to get to the destination that you desire, that can't be the only thing that you enjoy, right? Otherwise you're going to be miserable. So the Knight of Cups is just helping you to tune into this sun energy that you have in your internal world. This is available to you. And the more you can conjure up that sun energy, that vibrance and vitality that you have within you, you're going to enjoy this process a lot more. Now let's check on the advice for you. We have the Two of Wands. I'm going to clarify this, although I love this card, but I want to get a little bit more context on what this is. Eight of Stars. So it's relating to you needing to work on something. And the Two of Wands is really a reminder that we need to create a map. We need to draw out the plans. So let's say you set some intentions for 2020. Okay, January comes around. You get to this space where I think that when you're looking at December of 2020, when you're looking ahead, January is going to be the month where you can kind of sketch out your plans, get your map together. Some of you might do this in December, but I'm also getting that you're going to want to refine that in January. So if you're aiming at a specific destination, implement some kind of goalposts in order to work towards something. That way you're not totally aimless, because there is a big fat unknown right here. But it can also be something where you just want to set up small goals for yourself, and then from there you can work to achieve something small, and then you can feel like you're really getting somewhere. So I'm getting that the structures that you implement are going to be really, really helpful. Okay, let's go into the timeline. First, second, third, and fourth quarter of January. The first quarter, where you start off the month, we have the Four of Pentacles. This is that resistance that I was talking about. The resistance to, I'm going to be uncomfortable if I do that, so I'm going to pull back my energy. That's what the Four of Pentacles is reminding me of, is nope. I want to be just cozy and comfortable. I don't want to overdo it. I don't want to overexert myself. I don't want to do anything that's outside of my comfort zone. So this is you kind of waking up to whatever discomfort or whatever you know you need to do. It's kind of like, okay, you set the intention to do XYZ in 2020, and now January comes around, and so now you have to show up for yourself. And this is uncomfortable, right? When you're out of practice with this, it's something that you're going to be met you're going to be met with that discomfort, because your brain wants to keep you comfortable. And so whatever it is, whatever intention you have, it seems like you're really challenging and pushing yourself in the first quarter if you choose. You guys know you have free will. And then the second quarter, we have the Emperor. This is divine masculine energy. And the Emperor is really good for discipline, structure, showing up for yourself, being consistent, being, deliberate in your actions and in the way you're moving forward. I like this card because it's a perfect energy to help you anchor into those new intentions that you have for this year. Third quarter, we have the Nine of Chalices. This is wishes fulfilled, dreams coming true. Ultimate satisfaction is what the Nine of Chalices really represents. So I'm seeing that this card is just helping you with bringing everything together. So if you've been going for something, if you've been working on something, it's kind of like if you can hold on to this energy, maybe there's something really big that comes through in this third quarter, or maybe it's just something that you're tapping into individually. The Nine of Chalices is really helping you out with all of that. And then the fourth quarter, wrapping up the month, we have Six of Chalices. Okay, so this is divine connections. I like to think about this as golden opportunities. That's the other meaning that I find with the Six of Chalices. Yes, it's a soulmate card, but in this deck in particular, it has more to do with yourself. So think inner child, think it's all of the things that you need to do that are good for yourself. So I'll show you the reason why this deck doesn't come up as much as having to do with other people is because she's alone. She is just really sitting in that satisfaction. So this is definitely an extension of the Nine of Chalices. But on top of that, this is also going to be a time when self-care is really, really, really important. You're doing a lot of work, you're integrating a lot, you're initiating a lot this month, especially right here, meeting that resistance with the masculine energy of showing up anyway. And because of that, self-care is something that you can't neglect. Like if you have career goals, we can't neglect self-care because you need to have energy in order to reach your career goals. We can't, totally neglect the important parts of your healing or the important parts of you really staying within your body. Otherwise, it's going to derail all of the other intentions that you've set. So the Six of Chalices is more important than you might realize, especially in that fourth quarter. Because you don't want to be on the burnout train. That's not where you want to go. I'm not getting any of that from this reading by any means, but I'm just getting that there's a lot of integration and balancing that's happening. Okay, now let's do a 3-card pick. You're welcome to pick a card, any card, as few or as many as you need. Ask a question, ask for guidance, clarity. If you need more time, please pause the video. Card number 1. We have the Six of Cups again. Okay, so here this is looking like another person, right? This is looking like the soulmate connections, the divine opportunities, divine timing, divine, all over the place. So you want to pay really close attention to the people who come into your space, if you picked this, or the people that you have around you, the connections that you have around you are going to give you a lot of insight as to what you're holding on to internally. So use all of the environmental stuff as a clue as to what your state is. And then card number 2, we have the Emperor. For you, if you picked this card, I cannot stress enough that this second quarter right here, you meeting your resistance and showing up anyway, or you feeling like you need to do that thing for yourself and then giving it energy, grabbing a hold of that structure is key. That is very, very important in this card. So you don't want to ignore that. You don't want to just blow that off. And to really go into January strong. This is also a good time to set boundaries, right? If you need to practice saying no to somebody, the Emperor is helping you to do that. And then the third card, we have King of Pentacles. Own your stability. So the King of Pentacles is mastery over the material world. And I'm just getting that the more mastery, the more stability that you can feel into. And what I mean by that is, what would it feel like if you already had your needs met? What would it feel like if? Keep asking yourself that question and then honor that. Really bring that information into your body. And that's what's going to be reflected to you externally. All right, everybody, that is all that I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Make sure you check me out on Instagram at Onyx Healing. I also host prayers and a tarot poll every Wednesday on my podcast, so make sure you check that out. Sunday messages, the link is in the description box. And until next time, don't forget, if you want to support the channel, you're more than welcome to work with me. Head over to onyxhealing.com to see all of the goodness that I offer. And I will talk to you all later. Have a beautiful month, everybody, and I will see you next time. Bye.